So I present to you the XB-anana Bomb. Yeah, I promised you a yellow build, and so I delivered, or rather Chris delivered. So the basis of this is of course in half XB. You can still see some parts of it, you know, scattered around, but basically this is a through-on-through mod completely. And it's built around the Empire Z97, yeah, and a Devil's Canyon 4790K, that's the part number. And before anyone asks, we didn't make any extensive overclocking tries, you know. It has a very effective cooling system, but we didn't want to go into that right now. Right now we want to focus on the mod, and maybe later we will get some testing done, but that's up to Chris. So write him, send him a comment, poke him if you want to. Maybe he will give you some results, but let us focus on this build. So what you can see is a very aesthetically pleasing yellow build. You know, you could always just take a splash of yellow paint and throw it on there and it was yellow. But of course that was not, there's never been any intention to do that. So you know, he concentrated a lot on the finer lines and aesthetics of the yellow. The front panel is clean, as you can see. He made a cutout, inserted plexi window, plexi cutout, and then he used body filler to make it smooth and clean. Painted it matte black, and then he made some metal bits with an angle grinder to make a more, you know, make a unique appearance of the front panel. The front panel here is actually exceeded, and there is what do you call it, fan grills between here, so there's actually airflow coming around here, so the front panel is not blocked off, even though it appears so. The intake is AF120s. The Corsair fans are dominant in this build, so there's AF120s in front and AF120 in the back. On the rad, which is an EX240 XSPC, there are two SP120s, only push. There is, however, two Noctua R8 fans in the bottom, and sorry, the front. So it's not all Corsair dominated. There are some Noctua parts in there. They're ugly as hell, you know, but they're in their own sense. There's some beauty in those, because you know they're beige, they're fuck ugly, but they just oozes quality, right? And anyone who knows computer parts know that Noctua makes good shit. Excuse my words. So powering this is an RM850 from Corsair, modular power supply. Sorry, it's a longer power supply than you're used to. That's why it protrudes so long into the case. But fine with that. There's plenty of room in XB if you know how to use it. What he did was that he wanted to open up the case more to see the wonderful things inside, you know. So he made clear acrylic windows, made a cutout, and of course in an XB you have to be careful that you don't cut too much to the close. You don't actually have too much space to cut off, because when this panel goes on, you very easily run out of room. So you can actually get this thing stuck, you know. So this thing is made of 2mm acrylic, clear, of course. And I think the results are quite nice. You can be the judge of that. I think it's quite nice. Roof panels, same. He got rid of the excessive protrusion, I think it's called, you know. The raised part of the original XB case. So it retains the more cube shape, which in his eyes is more aesthetically pleasing. I must have to say that I'm a Danish person, so English is not my native. So if I fumble over the words, you're gonna have to give me a little credit, you know. It's trying to go here, but you know, we try to get through it. So So the top panel, of course, is also clear acrylic, so you can really see what's going inside. The airflow is going from front to back, and because the CPU is cooled, we made some calculations, and we went with, closing the sides off, and there should be ample airflow to get rid of the heat dissipation from the GPU, the VRM, and the RAM. So yeah. And it seems to work quite nice. He has not he did not have any problems with temps, and the system is running beautifully. So now to talk a little about the hardware inside. He went with the base, the C97 M-Power. He has always been a fan of the M-Power since they began launching the series of overclocking boards, MSI, I guess it's because they tend to do things a little more differently. You always have those red builds, you have the white builds, you have the blue builds. Where was use your imagination, guys. Come up with something else. MSI did something else. They made a yellow, and I know there's some, there are other builds, ASRock and stuff like that, who makes yellow builds. Yellow motherboards. But we're really a fan of MSI. MSI make quality components, and so he went with that. And CPU, as I said, is a 4790K. That was Canyon. No overclocking results posted yet, but they will come, I think. The RAM in these, the memory, Corsair Vengeance Pro 2133 MHz, CL10. CL9, they are 9, 10, what were they? 9? 10. CL10, we're going with CL10. That's awesome latency for RAM on that side. And I think that those RAM, they hit the sweet spot, right now, because you can always get 2400 megahertz RAM, but then you're going to lose, then you CL11, and then you're going to lose some of your timing. So, wonderful RAM.
16 gigabytes.
16 gigabyte kit, of course, yeah. You can always go with 32, what are you going to need 32 for, right? Right? What are you going to need 16 for? Maybe you just settle for 8. Well, more is better. So, GPU, we have an XFX R9 280X. It is the double dissipation variant, and he did some modifications to that too. I don't know if you want to come in and show a little bit, because, yeah, come. Let's bring the camera. As you can see, he used pinstriping and vinyl to make the yellow nuances and the accents come out a little more. And as you can see, the Corsair rings are also made yellow. The coolant, as we're going to cover a little more in depth, the cooling solution, is a Mayhem's pastel yellow, mixed with a XSPC clear variant. The cable extensions there with the combs on are just plain, black extensions, not to overcolor, oversaturate the build with so much yellow. I think he found the perfect balance here for it. The reservoirs you just saw over there, that was a Lund Complex reservoir. It's a Danish created reservoir, and ever since he stumbled upon that, he wanted to have that because it's an awesome looking design. In his opinion, one of the best looking reservoirs out there. If you're gonna look for something else than a tube reservoir or a Bayres. So. Talk a little about the cooling solution on this. 1610 hose, 16mm outer, 10mm inner diameter. What do you call it?
The pump.
The pump is a DCP 4.0 EK, 800 liters an hour. Lifting height 4 meters or something like that. That's a killer pump right there. I thought that was not going to be as crazy as it was, but it really did the job. It's awesome. Way overkill for this build, but hey, we like overkill. So the pump head, what do you call the cooler here for the CPU? I'm sorry,
cooling block.
The water block.
Water block, yeah.
What? The water block. I should be able to. Damn. Now, the water block for the CPU is an EK variant. The clean. That's not what it was called. What it was?
Supremacy.
Supremacy. So it's a clean plastic. I don't think it's plastic.
Matte black something.
Matte black plastic. You know, to keep the things. You keep it clean. Focus more on the yellow nuances. Focusing more on the mayhem pastel yellow, which really brings out the color of the coolant. Now some of you might wonder why there are no LEDs in this build. Well, for sure that's because no one makes yellow LEDs. They don't. It's orange. And I dare you to find some real yellow LEDs out there. If you can find some yellow LEDs, post them. Write them. I want to see it because we've had so much trouble finding it, and the conclusion was that it didn't really need it. You know, you could always overshade this thing with white LEDs to highlight the accents at night if it's dark. But I think this goes a lot cleaner here. This is all natural light, and you can see it all, and so there's no hiding what's inside. So I like that. Yeah. Storage in this build: 2 Samsung Evo drives, 120 gigs, RAID 0. And he went with a Western Digital 2.5-inch drive, 750 gigabytes. It's a black edition, so it's awesome, fat, really good for storage. So yeah, start, of course, on, off, reset, built in the front. And did you forget to copy something?
The handles.
The handles, yeah, of course. Very important part of the build. So these are tubed metal that was bent in 45-degree angle and then a 45-degree angle, welded inside so that you have a handle. You remove the handle here, but it's always nice to have something you can move around. So we built this from scratch, and I think the result is very nice. Stainless steel metal, so it's a little bit difficult to work with, but the rigidness and strength retains in it. So it's very happy about that. We promised you a yellow build, and there you have it. Yeah, thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for more TMJ videos. Subscribe if you want, like the video if you want to see more of this, and leave a comment below. I promise you that in the future we're going to be doing a lot more of these projects. I have a small form factor build coming up, possibly due to financial reasons. I cannot say when that's going to be, because it tends to be a little bit expensive building these. I think there's about 2,500 euros in this build alone, so it gets expensive, But yeah, so stay tuned for more TMJ videos, and we'll see you out there.